Szép napot kívánok! Üdvözlök mindenkit! Elérkeztünk a mai naphoz. A 5.6 Genshin, 5.6-os Genshin patch megjelent, elérhető. Megérkezett Escoffier a játékba. Viszont én nem rá fogok viselni. Nyilván, ha Navia itt a bannerem, nem tehetek más, mint Naviára viselni. Úgyhogy a mai nap, hát megcsináljuk ugye Escoffiernek a story questét, meg aztán már kijött az Arkon quest, az Interlude chapter-ös Arkon quest módosatba, ami szintén érdekel, úgyhogy még azt is megcsináljuk. Hello Beda, hello, szép nap volt. Úgyhogy igen, hát nyilván tesztranolunk, meg ilyenek. Meg így gyors, hogy a legelején elnyomjuk azokat azt a 20 valamennyi üsemet, amennyi van Naviára. Hát, ha kijön egy-két konstelláció. De egy ifának is örülnék, Ororon konstellációk is jöhetnek végül is, meg éjjel konstellációk is, ugyanis eddig sem C6-os még. Úgyhogy ja. Mi a helyzet amúgy veletek? Hogy telik a szerda? Lassan itt a nyár. Várjátok már itt a nyarat. Na, adok is egy képet közben amúgy. Elkezdjük itt a dolgokat. Például itt van még, még itt, még sok Timod sem. Ja, nem Escoffier. Ha nem Naviával lenne Escoffier, akkor még elgondolkodnék rajta, hogy viseljek rá, de igazából ki mellé tudnám amúgy használni. Hydro és Cryo karakterek mellé. Nivület mellé nem kell amúgy már más, így is rohadt erős. Ganyut azt inkább mellbe játszom. Rájött ez hát, még nem használom. Úgyhogy, ja. Child mellé mondjuk, nem amúgy. Nem nagyon van, nincs nagyon szükségem rá, majd a jövőben kiszedem, mert amúgy fonténi karaktereket mind meg szeretném szerezni. Amúgy Escoffier is tetszik. Meg amúgy tényleg jó karakter így a freestyle-ekbe. De annyira nincs rá szükségem. Meg hát Naviával van. De itt van Escoffier. Amúgy tetszik nekem tetszenek nekem itt az animációi. De igen, és akkor elvileg ezzel tud kaját csinálni így. Amúgy, Jánis most nem fog már. Aha. Hát jó van. Ilyenek az idol animation-jai vagyok. Kíváncsi vagyok még. Nem láttam amúgy, vagy nem emlékszem rá, hogy láttam volna. Amúgy a fegyvere is menő néz ki. Szerintem. Nekem az is tetszik. Ja tényleg ez az egyik, oké. Ez megvan. A Golden Troop van rajta, jó van. Nem, a másik idol animation, azt én nem láttam, azt meg akarom nézni. Na? Hát lehet, hogy nem fog ez kiderülni most. Hopp. Jó, amúgy aranyos karakter, aranyos lett szerintem, jó lett a karakter dizájnja, szerintem. Nekem tetszik. Hát majd egyszer kiszedem őt is. Aztán nem tudom milyen rotában jó. Valószínűleg lehet, hogy ezt kéne utoljára hagyni amúgy. Escoffiernek a képességeit. Nem tudom. Nyilván itt ez nehéz megtapasztalni, hogy mit tud ezt a film, mert az a baj, hogy support karaktereknek a trialjai sajnos nem jók. Nem lehet megnézni, mit tud. Szitlanulás is nagyon rossz volt, vagy Szilanennél. Sajnos nála sem jó. Hogy pontosan mit tud, mert nem azokkal itt az lenne jó, ha be tudnád hozni a saját karaktereidet. És akkor azokkal kipróbálni, de hát sajnos ilyet nem lehet. Na, itt van. Jó van. Na, ifa. Talán kapok majd ifát, jó lenne amúgy. Megkeresem majd a Navia a témazenét, mert amúgy hát ha az meghozza a dolgokat, szerencsét. Oh. Hoppá! Előkapta a fegyót. Gyors bezárka két oldalt, muszáj voltak, mert túl sok minden van megnyitva. Fölöslegesen. Jaj! Történik. Amúgy tetszik. Jó. Szerintem menők az animációk, én azt mondom. Nekem bejön. Így ezt tették rá. Csak kíváncsi vagyok, hogy mit tettek rá pontosan, milyen elemental. Nem vágom amúgy a kitjét annyira, azt tudom, hogy Swirl meg electrocharge reakciókat, vagy igen, ilyen electrocharge reakciókat boostolhat, azt hiszem, ha jól emlékszem. Úgyhogy annyira nem vágom. De talán... De nem fog már élni. Ez érdekesnek tűnik nekem, mert amúgy van egy-kettő electrocharge csapat, amiben lehet, hogy vagy van itt? Hogy már ezt már újra spawnoltja, lehet, hogy csak újra spawnoltak, jó. Akkor mindegy, nem fogunk itt próbálgatni. De amúgy nem tudom, kíváncsi vagyok rá. Nem hinném, hogy nagy game changer lesz. De mondjuk lesz egy Anemo Singer City user, szerintem az már amúgy nem rossz. Ez már amúgy nem rossz benne. Orradom, most meg kell csinálni orradomt is. Így is kell. Jó, munka szép. Jó. Jó, hogy nem Abyss vagy bármilyen stream van ma. Csak sztorizása, meg ilyenek. Ah. nem nyomta az út, ez előbb elni. Mindegy. Még van valami. Ott hagytam egy ilyen fosírzítsőt, hanem nem hiszem. Na, és akkor így van Léla trial. Gyors beugrunk oda. Gyorsan letölt az ultia. Ennek az idő Lélának. Gyorsan volt. Elnyomtam, aztán rögtön volt. Király. Hát jó, mindegy igazából, nem annyira lényeges. Nem annyira érdekel Léla. Nincs rá nagyon szükségem. Van sziklali, van zsongli. Ő nekem nem egy nagy prioritás. Nyilván majd ki fogom buildálni, mert mindenki ki szeretné buildálni, de ő így ugye valószínűleg az utolsó karakterek közé fog tartozni, akiket buildálni fogok. Ó, igen, Sanctifying Elixir. Tudunk... igen, ez rossz. Tudunk csinálni esetleg egy... Elixírt, jó, azt még van idő a patchből, úgyhogy azt majd egyelőre ennyit beteszünk, aztán majd ezt szépen lassan megcsináljuk. Ez micsoda? Óhó, ez mi? Nyilván őket használom. Hát jó, ez valami TCG update, hát... Minden vágyam volt amúgy egy jó TCG, ez az. Erre vártam amúgy, na mindegy, hát most. Ó, az. Na. Ó, van izém, tehát weeklizni is kéne. Majd. Na mindegy, először eljövünk ide. Fogunk gyors viselni ezt a majdnem 30 vist, de valószínűleg lesz 30, mert jön, talán jön Starbitter, bár nem biztos. Nem biztos az, hogy jön még Starbitter. Még 10 Starbitternek kijönni. Mindegy, igazából nem is kell jönnie semminek, csak 6 Navia konstellációnak, az nem olyan nagy kérdés, nem? Na, ide jövünk. Ugye csinálni csapatot gyors. Annak makaronjai vajon? Mindig most, hát vannak, akkor azokat elnyomjuk, de ha nincsenek, akkor most mindegy. Na. Oké, ide állunk. Gyors fogunk a csapattal összeállítást. Navia Chlorine. Betesszük a Travelert, mert le kell tenni a Travelert is. És kit kéne még? Tegyük be Forinát. Én azt mondom. És akkor ide állunk. Keresek... vagy ezt ki... Ezt. Kétszer rátűz a műsorra, hogyha lejárna, bár nem hinném, hogy túl hosszú lenne ez a pooling session. Nem tudom, mi van-e. Sőt, van külön náviás is, úgyhogy mindent elnyomunk. És akkor mehet az első 10-es. Ott is van C2. C0-án vagyok, amúgy C2-t így rögtön nagy kérés, de hát... Na figyelj! Ha kapok esetleg C6-ot a patchben, valamilyen csoda folytán, utána én esküszöm, bevállalom azt, hogy minden 50-50-et elbukom. Meg hogy magas pitire kapok mindent, ez nem érdekel, akkor most egy C6-ot a patchben. Nagy lenne, de hát szép álmokna. Hát ez egy nagyszerű tempul volt amúgy. Hát 4 csillag. Tényleg amúgy most vagyok 50 pitin nagyjából. Jó. Ó. Na, ifát megkaptuk. Már nem volt.
Oh yeah, then there's this little dude. That's Kikuku, my assistant. Sorrow vet in a different sense of the word, I guess. I hope the two of you will get along.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Madár. Hello, Wallace, hello. Mi a helyzet? Nem minden, hogy bármi lesz. Hát jó, ez egy... És tényleg nem tudunk még 2-t venni, nem mindegy. Jó étvágyat kívánok. Na, 4 csillag, de jobb lesz ez. Na, C4-es ororom, jó az. Ja, lehet, hogy magasabb pitin volt. Nem tudom pontosan, hogy pitin volt. Igen. Szeretnék minél többet a patchben összeszedni. Nem tudom, igazából nincs sok esélyem, de hát ugye mindent kell adni. Meg fogok most mindent el fog nyomni, aztán meglátjuk. Ha nem, ha igen. Ez kofir annyira nem érdekel, vagy hát nem az, hogy nem érdekel, de nincs rá szükségem, nincs kihez nagyon használjam, vagy bárkinek meg szüksége. Hát igen, nívület mellett tudnám használni, de nívület így is megold mindent. Rájött azért úgy sem használom, kanyart meg már benne szoktam, úgyhogy nyilván nincs rá szükségem. De majd a jövőben egyszer kiszedem. Nem tudom hányas volt a pitim. Tehát előtte kellett volna megnézni. Itt van. 40-es volt, akkor most 68-on vagyok, 69-en. Ja, hát engem Skirk nem érdekel. Nem annyira érdekel az a karakter. Nyilván valamilyen szinten kíváncsi vagyok rá, de valószínűleg nem fogok rá púlolni. Ennyire érint engem ez kofir se. Még egy idét. Standardot. Már majd felbildelem, de nincs miből. Nagyon meg igazából. És nem is azt kéne. Jó, nyilván. Nem is azt kéne, nem is azt akarom farmolni, hanem azt kell dolgotom. Így tovább. Ja, meg hát most weeklizni kéne amúgy. Meg ilyen szemnek kéne még bosszozni. A mai resim mennyiségből. Őket azt skandalom most. 29 karaktert kéne. Most már 30-at. Jó van. Hát jó, amit még megkapunk, azt még elnyomom majd mindenképpen, meg hát... Nyilván majd, amit utána kapok, azt is elnyomom. Ha itt van, hát nem tudom melyikkel kezdjük majd amúgy, mivel kezdünk, amivel van, mik vannak, várjál. Van ugye ez a Interlude Chapter, van ez a Story Quest. Mi van még itt? Hát farmolás, lehet azzal kéne kezdeni, én azt mondom. Bár nem tudom milyen weekliket akarok. farmolni. Az a nátlánét kéne. Most van valami új, ugye? Mindegy, azt még nem nézzük meg, mert az annyira nem hinném, hogy szükségem lesz még rá. Vagy most rá. Kivéve, ha a ifának az kell. Nem tudom. Mindegy, ezt először. Meg lehet, hogy amúgy valamelyik régebbi bossra kéne visszamenni. Bár annyira nincs most rá szükségem. Igen, azt hiszem. Ha jól tudom. De majd megnézzük. Ja nem ezt akartam, basszus. Ezt akartam. Mivel menjünk? Én gyors kört akarok? Gyors kört akarok vagy? És ez is gyors kör. Hol lesz ez? Lejárt a mosogató. Ha behaladszik a csipogás, akkor az az. Elnézzük. Hol van? Ja, meg is van. Magukáltal. Na, nézzük, mennyit kapunk, mit kapunk. De legalább kaptam ilyet, hát jó van. Nem volt túl bőkező játék, azt kell, hogy mondjam. Nem mindegy. Na, még... Ez a nyomjuk lesz, nyomok még azért 2 weeklit. Gyors. Ja, úgyis mindenkit fejlesztenem kell, most azon gondolkodom, hogy melyik fejleszteni akarok. Nem kell feltétlenül, de akarok. Azt gondolkodom, hogy melyikre van szükségem leginkább. Hát nem hinném, hogy a childra. Lehet, hogy a sárkányra amúgy szükségem lenne. Fogalmam sincs. Jó, mindegy. Most akkor mégsem, nem tudom. Fogalmam sincs. Majd a újat kiszedjük lehet a végén, de most akkor melyik is kell ilyen szemnek amúgy? Melyik boss? Ezt még most mindenképpen meg kéne csinálni. Itt a szkendelom. De neki ez kell. Négyet, létszik, négyet. Nyilván nem 4-et. Nem rossz, nem rossz. Amúgy. Mondjuk erre az kevés HP-re el kell túltűzni. Megnézzük amúgy azt a kis... Miért mostad 4-et amúgy? Nyilván! Hogy rohadnak ki a vele, mármint hogy... Na, nézzük meg azt a virágot. Én azt mondom, hát ha valami tényleg ilyen 50 CV lesz. Nagyot menne. Hát most ide. És úgy gladiátorom jelenleg. És ez volt? Aha, ez volt. Nézzük. Oké, nem is rossz. Jó, még adunk neki egy esélyt. Oké. Most már felfejlesztem. Oké. Nem volt itt semmi. Nem volt itt semmi. Ilyet nem. Nice. Én csak ennyit tudok mondani. Basszus, nincsen ilyen elektro bizbaszom. Ilyen szenhez. Már még van, azt nem tudunk egyet bosszozni. És mi tudunk craftolni is, és akkor ha... Kik vannak? Nem tudom, hogy melyik... amúgy ez azt hiszem pont elektrótal. Ugye? Ja. Akkor ezt meg kell. Hát igen. Ez tipikus. Szeret a játék. Törődik velünk, az a lényeg. Igen, majd fogok, csak az a baj, hogy igazából a többiből sincs. Az a helyzet, hogy a többiből sincs nagyon. Most eléggé elfogytam az összesből. Nem csak ezért amúgy is kell a fejlesztő Mati, mindenképpen. Ugye mert következő karaktert lánya lesz a következő, aki valószínűleg húzzak, hogy az egyik következő. Úgyhogy mindenképpen kell. Csak ha már elektro kell, akkor menjünk olyan karakterre, akit mindenképpen... Vagy olyan karakterre menjünk, olyan bosszra, ami valakinek kell. És az, hogy elektrót ad. Nincs gond azzal, ha most elnyomom. Nem megy kárba. Viszont mindenképpen kell még amúgy mennyi van? Hát nem sok. Akkor konkrétan azt mondom 0 elektrokövet. 2 van. Jó, nagyon jó. Nézzük, mennyit tud craftolni. Semennyit. Király. Na. Nem tudom melyikből van esetleg. Dendro. Anemo. Anemo az kelleni fog mindenképpen. A Dendro. Jaj. Jó, hát végülis annyi nem fontos, hogy Dendro, annyira nem szükséges nekem még most sem a Dendro. Számomra. Még jó, akkor minek... Jó, meghagyjuk, négyet craftunk Dendróból. Nem 4-et, de 4-et. Mennyit van a többiből? Hú, basszus. Ebből van 1. Nice. Ebből van 2. Egyet ki kéne craftolni ezekből. Szerintem. Én azt mondom. Geóra tudom, hogy nem lesz szükségem. Megszállom hidróra se. Most. Nincs, nem húzok hidrót. Jól, basszus, jó lesz ez így. Nem akarok most ilyen nagyokat elhasználni. Igen, nem nagyon vannak. Most elég nagy Askend forrazat van. És az utóbbi időben nem bosszoztam, hanem csak artiztam. Szinte. Vagy egy ideje, meg domaineztem, nem csak arti domain, hanem többi domain. Most annyira nincsen. Jó, hidró az még mindig nem. Mennyi van most ebből? 4 darab. Jó van? A maradékot a tendróból átváltam, azt jó lesz. Nem szarozunk itt. Yes. Végre. Őt is kicsillagozhatjuk. Csak akkor meg ezt a 6-ot kéne most majd valamikor. Ó. Battle Pass. Oké. Ó. Nem az előbb néztem, hogy csak 2 lett meg. Azóta megjöttek a többiek is. Lejárt idejük. Na. Van egy pullum, még így a sztori kellett. Nyomjuk el, én azt mondom, ezzel leszünk 70-en. Na. Ha minden igaz és jól számoltam, akkor 70-en vagyunk. Melyik sztorival kezdjem? Köszi. Ja, hát én azt már egy ideje megcsináltam. Hello. További szép napot. Na, melyik legyen? Sorsoljunk, én azt mondom. Sorsolok. Random number. Oké, 1-től 10-ig. Harmadik szám. Ha harmadik szám páros lesz, akkor most a sztori, ha páratlan lesz, akkor meg legyen a Escoffield sztori. 1 5 3 és akkor az következő 5. Ez is 5-ös volt. Jó, hát az páratlan, az Escoffield sztori, azzal kezdünk. Hát mielőtt elkezdtem, nem akarom félbeszakítani, azzal, hogy elmegyek mosdóba. Úgyhogy most megyek el mosdóba. Egy gyors szünet.
Yeah, others I'm as easily freeze, yeah. I'm rich, sure, don't not please, yeah. Straight, yeah, you should check me, yeah. I'll last a week or 2, when you got no idea what to do. Always on my mark, no time to accuse. Shouldn't like for me, the stage is not for you. Yeah, there is advice, taking every move I make. Makes it true, but I never won't be afraid. You know I'm wild like that, never can be tamed. Even all this big, watch me escape.
Na, itt vagyok. Na, menjünk vissza Fonténba végre. Na, hello Máté, hello. Mi a helyzet? Milyen volt a kompetencia felmérés? Nagyszerű volt? Megvoltak már, 70-es pütin vagyok jelenleg, és semmi. Let's go, Naviával kezdünk, bár valószínűleg nem lesz szinkron hangja, de ott ül a kis cuki. Úgyhogy jelenleg igen, 70-es pitin vagyok, ha minden igaz, és jó számoltam, mert ja, 38-ban körülbelül, és ez meg 40-es pitin voltam eredetileg, úgyhogy egyelőre még nem jött semmi olyan, de azért valami jött, egy ororon konstelláció, meg itt a ifa fiú jött már. Úgyhogy megjött egy, jött egy komoly fegyó, a legkomolyabb fegyó. Melyik is jött? Ez, ilyet, jó kis Sacrificial Greatsword. Ez ott az első. Amúgy nem volt túl kegyes, így kaptam 3 force-t, 30 poolban, úgyhogy... Mindegy, igazából nem érdekel. Megkapom el ilyet, akkor nem érdekel, lány, a C1-et, legalább a cikket, C6, na, jó? C6-ban megegyezhetünk. De igen, ifa megvan, amúgy. Magánynak kinézett, én azt mondom. Mondom, felfegyeztem, nincs mibű. Meg most, majd valamikor, tudom, hogy avatárja. Ifa avatárja. Meg hát ízéltünk eddig, még farmoltam kicsit, meg ilyenek. Az igen. Amúgy jól néz ki, jó design, aranyos, de... Igazából nem tudom ki mellett használni ezt coffee. Mondjuk, oké, nivelet mellett, oké, tudom. De minek? Jön a kérdés, minek? Ma van Szilanen, Szitlali. Tudom, Zsin, nem kell mellé, bár így is megoldja ezt. Megoldja egy Zsin, nivelet, Furina zsongli csapat is bőven mindent megold, amit kell neki. Ganyút mellben használom, és az elegendő. Rájöttezőnek, ki a faszom akar rájöttezőzni? Ne szóljatok Sashinek. De ganyu mellé nem akarok. Nem akarok freeze ganyút is építeni. Van egy ilyen melt ganyum, ez most így jó. Úgyhogy nincs hozzá. Nincs rá szükségem. Na. Be kell ecselkészük így hátokban. Így megtámadjuk így. Na. Bejön. Hát, de napszemüveg. Várjál, le kell nyomnom a zenét. Imádom ezt a zenét, de sajnos le kell nyomnom a zenét. Jó, meg vagyunk mentve. Így. Ennyi. 10/10 a patch. Hang. Jó van, másod nem is kell, hogy többinek nem, engem az nem érdekel. Navia hang. Ez így, ez jó. Ez egy pozitívum a patchnek mindenképpen.
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly. Right now, you're
Nyomozásokban van itt a izé.
and to the Hotel de Boer name.
Navia.
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack. You gotta at least hear her out.
Wait! Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia?
Lebukott.
So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time.
Pályamon lebuktatta Náviát. Szép volt pályamon. Szép volt pályamon, bazd meg. Erre vagy te jó.
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
Savannah, az igen.
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
Overworked? I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Vermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside, now!
Huh? But you said I shouldn't come back until...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you. Come on, we have work to do.
Érdekes a Savannah, érdekesen meg gyorsan meggondolta magát. Itt a dolgokról.
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again. Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
Hello, birposszum. Jó reggelt. Hello. Mi a helyzet? Hát bárcsak nem jött ki egy konstelláció sem. 30 pult tudtam elnyomni, 40-es pitin voltam. Még várat magára, még az a vagy 50-50 műsornak, de IFA legalább meg lett. Meg most már megjött egy konstelláció Orodonra. Vagy nem tudom, majd hát talán a patch alatt meg lesz, na. Már lehet reménykedni a dolgokban, én azt mondom. Na, gratulálok C2-hez. Jaj, végül nem mentem többet, nem tudom, elmentem 40 pitig. Aztán utána inkább leálltam, mert hát megnéztem ugye ezért, és láttam, hogy Navia jön, akkor saving mode. Hát tudtam, hogy jön a patchben, mert hát várható volt, csak hogy ő lesz az első felében, azt nem tudtam, nem gondoltam volna.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness
arra
have
is volt a
nothing to do
legutolsó,
with
mit
her or
kaptam.
how she's been running her kitchen.
Úgyhogy
She's
nem vagyok garantáltan
refusing to
se.
have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us.
De nincs mit veszítenem igazából. Mint, hogy... És kijön, ha nem. De inkább jöjjön ki azért, na. mind a 6 konstelláció, én azt mondom. Igen, de nekem is a C2 az, ami a nagyobb cél. És ha esetleg az kiesik, utána... Nyilván nem állunk meg. De hát... És szurkolok neked a C2-re. C2-höz.
Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up.
Hát, az a baj, hogy Escoffield majd meg akarom szerezni őt is, de jelenleg amúgy se tudnám nagyon kimenet használni, mert ugye Skurket nem tervezem megszerezni, sem mondjuk egy ajakát, sem egy, nem ki milyen karakter van még, aki DPS, nem mindegy. Hát van ugye Varieties, jó, az meg van Varieties, de nem nagyon használom, Ganyu Meltben van, És nevület pedig, nevület neki nincs szüksége Escoffilra. Nyilván valószínűleg többet damage-elne néhány ezerrel, néhány 10 000-rel, de szerintem fölösleges. Jelenleg, de minden fontos karakter ki akar szedni, de most Navia konstellációkra megyünk, megadok minden esélyt, hogy kiessen, amennyi ki tud.
And
De amúgy
that's why I'm
aranyos,
here, doing it
szerintem
the
a design
old-fashioned
meg
way.
jó.
Camping out, watching, and waiting for
A
an opportunity.
hasznosságát most így nem tudtam megállapítani a trialből, mert szuper karaktereknek nehéz. Szerintem eléggé. Meg hát most a sztoriból meg kiderül, hogy mennyire tetszik a sztoria. Mindegy. Igazából nekem ez a patch ez már így is pacek, mert van, megyünk vissza majd mostanatba, lesz event, amiben Navia lesz, meg hát itt van Escoffil küldiben is Navia, sőt, szinkronnal. Mi kell még? Szóval nekem ez 10/10 az a patch. Már így. Úgyhogy a Navia konstellációk azok csak bónuszok lennének. Jó lenne. Amúgy nem bánnám.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage.
Szóval is felvesz a szót. Meg kell googliznom. Ja, kémkedő. Ja. Ja, oké.
Yeah,
Ezt a szót nem ismertem.
meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole new game plan.
Paimon will join you, cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
Oh, guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were planning to visit the Fleuve Cendre anyway, let me take you out for a meal. I'll make sure it's a proper feast. A really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern. Her name is...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
Alright. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the candy.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
A little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time. Let's try this candy.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in! Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper.
Okay.
Find Escoffier.
Na. Keressük meg Escoffier. Na.
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Huh? You know that name, Navia?
Menjünk gyalog, én azt
Yeah.
mondom. Vagy
Let's stick to the
nem
plan
tudom,
and
hol
go
kell
back to the...
menni. Oda. Itt viszi amúgy. Nem tudtam eldönteni, melyiket csináljam, azért sorsoltam random számgenerátorral, melyiket csináljam, aztán először ezt csinálom. És jól döntöttem. Hát itt van Navia. Én azt mondom, hogy jól döntöttem. Jól, vagy hát igazából nem is él, hanem a számgenerátor jól döntött. Ma ezt megcsinálom, utána már, ez lehet, hogy egy kicsit magas, és lehet, hogy full damage-et kap Navia, úgyhogy inkább ezt elkerüljük, és inkább mégis többet tépézünk ide. Megérte, én azt mondom. Na de igen, majd utána meg mindenképp megcsinálom, mert pénteken már elvileg jön az event.
So, who is this Escoffier anyway?
She. Well, for starters,
Ott
she
is van.
used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer, before Savannah.
Ott sétálgat.
She
Escoffier.
recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history, after the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Boer. That's the super.
Hát nem tudom, milyen hosszú, én is kíváncsi vagyok rá.
Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place?
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a
Valószínűleg ma
safety
kiderül,
incident.
nagy eséllyel.
Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu. But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility. And she was sent to the fortress of Meripede.
Aha.
The Fortress of Meripede?
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
So that's what happened. Hyman still thinks it's really unfair.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out.
Hoppá.
It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well, about that.
Igen.
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove. You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
Kicuki.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Van egy szívecske a szemében? Nem néztem el, nem láttam eddig. És tényleg.
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
Hoppá. Na, ó, hát. Vannak itt ilyen gyanús alakok.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef.
Hoppá.
Well, in her words, the Hotel de Boer doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Firmont.
Cuki, rögés.
That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia! I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his
Hoppa.
companion, Paimon. Yes? Is there...
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We're here to talk about Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navia's come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the hotel to bore anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either.
Ó, itt van a vízanya, nem is néztem eddig.
Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamma and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Escoffier?
I can't believe her. Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable. I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
Wait, so now she's...
Hogy fel van ide pumpálva. Befeszült a Joyce-i. Tetszik, hogy ezt így megcsinálták.
We don't want to keep her waiting.
Wait, she looks like... Is that a Scoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay.
What the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
That's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of the kitchen.
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then, that wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of...
Lumaline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to...
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guard's list of controlled substances. Unfortunately,
Hello Lotador, hello.
some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Na, ez igaz, nekem is kijött. A Navia akkor nem is. IFA az nekem is kijött.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other all the time. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
No, chef.
Hoppa.
So, you do remember who's boss? Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Jó, ez érdekes az a figura.
Fanasium?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord,
Nem tetszik az
I dare
akcentusa.
say it would be de
nem.
rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
According to
Amúgy
legend,
nem de kicsit furcsa a hangja. Nem tudom.
Modeste and Sorelli used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence, and indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranked...
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts.
Exhibition. Huh. No. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Boer to me.
What? The Codex de Boer?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Boer. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel
Hoppa.
de Boer have the right to read it.
Present and former? Wait, but that already includes Savannah, the...
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original Codex?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your work. And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the Codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me.
Na,
Are you in or
vajon
out?
Ben lesz, vagy elfogadja, vagy nem? Szerintem meg fogunk lepődni.
You sound surprisingly confident.
Meglepő lesz a
Alright,
válasz.
let's see how much you've actually grown.
Hoppá, ki gondolta volna, hogy belement az dolgokba.
I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out
Inkább
all you
kimarad, és
found
csak
out
így vége
this
is a
long
sztori
is how
lesz
to
meg,
chew
amúgy.
people's heads off.
Ezt kellett volna szerintem.
Believe me, I'll show you.
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get...
Na. Menjünk lefele.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Na.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Zabelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world.
Úristen, Vilpasszonyom, nagyon szépen köszönöm
What a pleasant surprise.
a második
Extra
hónapot.
slice of joy.
Egy úr vagy. Meglepődtem, nem számítottam most.
Especially
Köszönöm
Modeste.
szépen.
He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How can any restaurant survive if they only serve food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modest wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. But as for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanishem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well,
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows? Maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hotel de Bourg never would have fallen into a
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original cup? Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the...
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the...
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to give me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Vanisham.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major...
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our gâteau do the talking. It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula. However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll
Úgy
respect
szimpatikus
the
hallott ez az
outcome of our
Escoffier,
contest.
így a sztoriban is.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest.
But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I could find a couple of assistants.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards. Think you're up to the task?
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
Na nézzük. Oh. Use normal attack. Aha.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients. A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Hyman's never used anything this weird before. Cool. Not weird.
Ah. jött. Ja.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely.
Antályban egyszerűen akartam megoldani. És mi van ebben?
Slowly and
Jaj. Így.
and voila! Now it's your turn.
Na. A csillogás azt anyagom úgy nagyon nem is
Not
volt.
terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have, but the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results
Hát.
on your first try.
Igen, a tehetség nem kérdeztem, megmutatkozik, hát nyilván.
Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your submissions. And that's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop! How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose one.
Hoppá.
Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
Mégis üres voltál. Az
Pretty
arca.
good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Hyman's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to la food.
6 points.
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Hyman doesn't cook all that often, so
That's 6 out of 100. You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from
That's a
this
good.
dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aw.
Me next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Aw,
Ó, szegény. Ó.
Now to the final dish.
So, what do you think?
this is our last hope.
8 points.
Oh.
Darn, that's barely higher than what we got.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation.
Mi a faszom? Mi ez a... Mi ez a fej?
I have to give this one 8 points out of 10.
Hoppá.
Maybe even 9 points.
Hoppá, hoppá.
How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen. I can really taste the grace of the snowing goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not to mention the frustrations of having a picky eater for a partner.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you miss that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing and see how it goes?
Chef Escoffier,
Oh, it's Hilaire. What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing gâteau de bois, right? I was just wondering if you needed any help.
And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Oh.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry, I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen. So if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I mean, I hope so.
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bourg?
I have not. But I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up for you right now.
Hoppá. Nyomod, Pali.
Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
Yeah.
What do you call this, Firma?
I can't seem to grip my knife.
Do it again! Again!
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Monica, when
Opa.
did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savannah horror story. Let's hear it.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it. In the trash now.
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
De a halfejes éjkaja az érdekesen nézett ki. Nem biztos, hogy megenném. Én azt, nem biztos, hogy...
Every
Lenne
time
hozzá, itt
you
vagyom.
make it, you just get another earful from her.
Mosolyognak rám a halak.
Either straighten yourself out or get out of my kitchen.
So now, it seems like just picking up a
Oh man, that must be
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Fiamma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me. And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help out.
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Navia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah. And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be someone out there, right?
Actually, I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then, well, this is the first chance I got.
You do this for us?
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
I know, but it's all right. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Fermat. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly go wrong now.
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose a Spina-sponsored meal to celebrate.
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the traveler a feast in the Fleuve Cendre. And I know how much you've been looking forward to it.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
Alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives.
Ezeket le kell screenelnem, ezeket mindig leszcreenelem. Pak.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
No.
Why, Savannah? Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original cook. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so desperate to get her. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modeste's adventure. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from
Mindjárt
years
jövünk
of
mi.
experience.
Megnézzük.
Surely that's infinitely more. Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah we were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made of those qualities why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief. Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is... I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was... Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the hotel. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Bourg and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured. Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness. And that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends. Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the and that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut. Really? Well, I like the confidence. Don't let me down tomorrow then. You better bring your A game.
Na. Na, várjuk akkor, menjünk, pörgessünk be az időbe. Menjünk, nyerjük meg ezt a versenyt. Mire kell állítani? Ja. Na, érkeztünk.
Did you hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Hoppá, már ez megy egy csiti-cseti Escoffierről.
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to the Hôtel de Bord and to this most exciting of cooking contests.
Savannah, I brought the original copy of the codex you asked for.
Monica? Huh.
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict. This is to ensure that no one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty sweet deal.
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then,
Itt a
without
zsűri.
further ado, let the Hôtel de Bord cooking contest commence!
Erre kíváncsi vagyok. Hoppá. Nem tudom, hogy csinálták meg így a gamebe. Valószínűleg azt kell csinálni, amit csináltunk ott lent. Gondolom én.
Monica, Traveler, it's go time. Let's do this. Even the best chef in the world can...
Even the
Yeah,
best
well,
chef
I
in the
guess so.
world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse, Gaspar, get to work. Do not
Most kell oda menni.
disappoint me.
Igen.
Looks like our two head chefs.
That should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and bow.
Akkor ide jövünk. És akkor 2. Így. Érdekes szerkezetek. Ja is. Kész van? Jó nagy darab. Ki? Cuki. Hogy szurkol. Kis aranyos. Na nézzük. Következő. Ugyanígy. Gondolom én. Ugyanígy kéne.
Up to the freezer.
Ó, van itt egy. Most...
The balance of flavors is about right. But the
Oh, hogy...
quantity is too low.
Így.
So, what do you think?
Escoffier is already on the final step of the...
Igen, mindkettőből bele kell tenni 2-t. Azt mondja itt nekünk a... Ez annyi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Nem lesz jó szerintem amúgy. Még ebből csak... ez nem jó. Szóval tudom kezdeni, vagy jó? Ezt tényleg kéne kezdeni, valahogy ezt elrangottam.
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
Enough! Oh, useless. Both of you, make like an egg and beat it!
Aha. Na így, jó. Így legalább 2. Azt hiszem, hogy... Jó van.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
Na nézzük.
I
Mi van még
present
itt?
to you Gâteau de Bourg.
Az igen. Az igen, mi torta lett. Mondjuk nem az én ízlésemnek megfelelő, nem szeretem a tortákat annyira. De mondjuk egy szeretet azért kipróbálni belőle.
Working gracefully and elegantly together. Great work, team.
Az igen. A csapat. A csipet csapat. Itt is van. Amúgy ez tetszett ez a része. Nem volt rossz.
Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
Huh. That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make gâteau de bois.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10. Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Huh? Really? I couldn't tell.
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite and already this aroma.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
How exciting! I'm gonna dig in. I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all over the place.
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
Whew. And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won.
What? It's Savannah?
No.
Oh.
That's in.
Hoppá.
Hey, Savannah, you cheated, didn't you? You cheater! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to that. It was Vanishem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them? Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge? Oh.
You take that back!
Judges,
Hoppá, mi
we demand
történik?
a rematch. That's enough. What's done is done. As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility for the dish I served. Whatever went wrong and however it happened, Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it. Scoffier, no! But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over and I won. That
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without looking to expose what you've done. But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head chef to the next. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there any other unfinished business you'd like to leave in my hands?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss. Just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your advice.
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Escoffier!
The Codex de Boer. Finally. Now,
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of your time here! Doesn't that...
It's all right. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with a whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and energy.
No. No! This doesn't make any sense!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets. No nothing? I don't believe it. This can't be happening.
Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
Hoppá, összeesett.
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on is herself.
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work.
But why?
Our best guess is she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time, like she...
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself.
Na nézzük.
Well, how is it? Have you figured out what it was?
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Az igen.
Is it really that bad? I made sure to taste test it before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
Hoppá.
I'm sorry. I was forced into it. It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
Calm down, Monica.
Hoppá.
I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the
Mondjuk
results were announced.
sejtettem amúgy. Volt gyanús kifejezése. Mikor felhozták, hogy csalt.
Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans. There's no...
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Food safety? Wait, you mean the Lumeline incident? So you procured the contaminated ingredients?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen. But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, and I didn't know it would end up with Escoffier going... But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to blackmail me with...
This is crazy. So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to...
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier finding out that I put her in jail? I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously? All this fuss over a little slip-up? Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. And secondly, I had my own reasons for leaving the Hotel de Boer. This wasn't the only factor, so you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or anything like that.
You mean...
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Van to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and find out exactly where those contaminated ingredients came from.
Sure, understood.
Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to blackmail?
I have my suspicions. Not that I've got any proof to back them up, though.
Ugh. What happened to me?
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night. Determined.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought though.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever since Escoffier left.
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more and at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escoffier.
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes, also she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine. The only one privy to all the secrets of the trade.
Oh, for goodness sake. What a stupid idea.
Of course. Then she finally got the codex, only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once.
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, she might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right one.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier are in a league of their own.
Na, kíváncsi vagyok én is, hogy...
New head chef, you say? What's her name? I don't think I've heard of her before.
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you... Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all yours.
All this time, I've been blaming other people, but maybe I'm the problem.
Iha. Nem bírta a nyomást.
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah's awake now, but I don't think she's ready to speak to anyone. Let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance.
In that case, I'll go and update Firma and his family. I wonder what he'll make of all this.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
That was a long day. I think I've earned myself a sweet treat when I get back home.
Oh, nice! Macarons? Or are you gonna switch it up this time?
Vagy mondta.
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose? Every year they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. There's always one goose at the front whose job is to lead the flock.
Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing. Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take its place. So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss that fact when we project our own ideas about social hierarchies onto them. I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between normal and genius. Cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe, and same environment, I see no reason why two different people shouldn't be able to create the exact same dish. Of course, some people have a more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more conscientious. But these are all variables. I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believe that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards is because, well, I believe they're capable of greatness. Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why Savannah failed. And come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her life, pointing out all the mistakes she's made along the way. Then...
Hoppá, hát kapunk egy új receptet amúgy. Hoppá. Na, várjunk. Hoppá, és in this coffee. Back, megyünk ide a hotelba. Vagy mi ez? Étterem.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Van is, check on her? What? Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
Oh. Az igen.
I'm
Ez
fine.
igen.
Just need to get some more coffee in me.
Ez itt kávé? Kis adag kávé?
What happened to my coffee?
Jó.
Did I really drink it all?
Kicsit furcsa ezeknek a dolgoknak a méretaránya így a karakterekhez képest kajáknak. Ez valami kicsit engem zavarni szokott általában egy játékban. Túl nagyok.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
Coffee.
Oh. Ez mi?
Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler in Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up in your sleep.
I think I figured out where the problem...
Wait, what investigation?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small, I can't believe it's caused so much drama. Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savannah?
No, not since yesterday.
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing, only to find an empty house with the door. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hotel de Bord. If she's not here, then...
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at...
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff and...
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of...
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his... Yeah, but... I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the...
The Codex de Bord? Then this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bord?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Anything to overcome a...
Ugh, idiot! Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years...
Hold on. There's more. Besides the map...
Nem olvasom végig. Bár...
It was you. You let the... It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieved the Codex by... So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the string?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
Jó, azért nem nőttek túlságosan. Csak egy picit. Fogalmam sincs, mi lesz ennek a vége most.
Finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident. The demand for a cooking even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
Hoppá. Bam, bam, bam. Az igen.
We should be getting close to the spot
víz a
marked on the
nekem.
map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
De miért csinált ezt a Mónika? Vajon? Várj, várj. Valami... Csapatot összeteszünk valami olyat, ami jó. Legyen, behozunk egy Riot Ezli tímet. Azt mondom, hogy behozunk egy Riot Ezli tímet, valamit. Ugye nem Escoffier, Riot Ezli. Jelen Furinál. Kit tegyünk még be? Mivel teszem Szitlalit.
Who's our target this time?
Just kell egy kávé nekem. vagyok, bocsánat. Na, nézzük, menjünk be. Kíváncsi vagyok, milyen build van rajta. C3-as. De tudom még váltani vajon? Mert ez most nem a saját fegyvere. De nem a legjobb lehetőség. Jó. De most igen. Hoppá. Mízécső.
This place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly the idea of it...
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria.
Fókák.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? Aw, they ran off!
That could be easier said than done. Something's Good point.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, romaritime flowers, and see, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head off.
There's no time for that. Romaritime flowers and Lumitoile will have to do.
Wait, we're seriously...
Oh.
Yeah. A dash of frosting. Yeah. Yeah.
Ugyanazok vannak. Így.
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
Oh, good question. If we tried...
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again? Something about the food flowing away on the current.
El kéne juttatni oda hozzájuk. Elindul. Jó. És elmegy. Tudom mit forgatni most? Nem. Nyilván amíg nem ér végig, addig nem fogom tudni elforgatni. Megcsámcsogja, jó van.
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
Bam. Az egyik az megvan. Ó, Istenek, csinálni kell még egyet. Oké. Tudom rájött, hogy ezzel is csinálni ezt.
The tracks turned back again. Oh, so
Abba.
annoying.
Nem, ezt mindenképpen nézzék el. az 5-ös. Na. Álljátok le! Hú. Nézzük. 6. Ó! Oh. Ezt kicsit elrontottam. Hoppá! Vagy mindig a aha. Oké. Okay. Én nem hiszem, tényleg mindig előtt egy. Mi az, amire szükségem van. Na, forgassuk meg. Ha. Még egyet. És mehet ez a szar. Parak. Nem mehetek beljebb. Egyet közelebb ahhoz. Na. Na és megvan a másik.
Hey, it's open.
Wow. Na. Oh, egy ládikó. Na, én ezt már szerettem, mikor így adnak ládákat. Legalább egy kis... Ja, még ezt is felszedhetném amúgy, nem ártana. Új.
Hey, give me your water. Here. I said your water, the one you just drank out of? Sure. All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosive. Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation... So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain. That she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship, only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even... So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him...
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever...
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself if you're vindictive and jealous? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by...
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could...
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Hoppa.
Ever since I learned the truth, I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback!
But but you drank it too.
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica.
You.
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never...
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now...
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica. We got you surrounded.
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder.
A recipe! You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us. Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone...
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from the... He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought... We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right. I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure...
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll...
Ó. Mi történik?
Wait, what's that?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Uh-oh, Savannah's gone too.
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Na, hát ez érdekes. Gondolom lefele kell menni.
Water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
Gondolom erre kell menni. Amúgy arra nem számítottam, hogy a műzé lesz, a Mónika lesz mögötte. Most meglepett egy kicsit amúgy, amikor ez így kiderült. Így.
They were probably awakened by the explosion just then. Alright, Life Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
Ja, hoppá. Nem kellett volna nyomni ezt a furina ultit.
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
Na, aha. Oké. Meg kéne nézni, hogy mi kéne. Nem fog adni kettőt szerintem. De azért nem jó. Fordítok kellett volna, ebből kellett volna 3. Így. Ígyni. Meg kell rotálni ezt a videót.
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
Tényleg van az első. Ja, most fenn láttam basszus, hogy amúgy nem kell megnézni a tányérat, vagy látom, hogy melyik hiányzik. Vagy mi hiányzik. És igazából...
A little amuse-bouche.
Na, kész is van. Ja, és visszaállt. Jó van, köszönjük. Oh. Úgy igazából nem is tudom kipróbálni ezt koffiát. Sajnos, normálisan. Talán furina miatt. Túl erős. Mert hát jó, nyilván ez koffit boost is belejátszik.
Limitols and maritime flowers.
Bár annyira nem.
This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's
Nincs rá lehetősége, gyorsan meghal.
Wait, hold on. Which story are you talking about?
Tovább tart a küldő, lehet, hogy a vizét majd csak holnap csináljuk meg inkább. Arkon questet. Ez elég sokáig tart, hogy nézem, mi tartott. Mindig tart igazából, úgyhogy... Amúgy tetszik ez a sztori. Nekem. Nyilván, ha Navia szerepel benne, akkor már nem lehet rossz. De amúgy is jó.
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date. Oh, you really think?
Trust our adventurer's instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen. Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests. Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
Na, mi van? Mit találtunk? Valami könyvet.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place, sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after...
I always thought it was just a legend.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this. Even though being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all, but as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience. But in hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life. And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say, yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when... Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Bourg, proving... But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name.
Aha, gondolok őt ja.
It will mean tampering with his notes to it may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
Ajajajaj. Úti van. Nem tudom, valami. Random izé. Ojjaj. Kiütötte a...
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never... But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria... Oh. It's... empty.
Bam.
It's... empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Sabelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm any... So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking plan. All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Iha.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else. Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out!
Now.
Ez jó rövid csata volt.
Why is this place still shaking? I know it. Enough chit-chat.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you.
Hoppá.
I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
Oh. Hoppá. Hoppá, hoppá.
Savannah? When did you... I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Traveler?
Hát, restart. I guess. Ott szakadt meg ilyenek. Mónika.
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler! And Paimon!
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and...
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, wait.
I don't deserve any of you. And it was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation.
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to...
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left. And Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, at the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our...
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Vermont,
and to Escoffier.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's been a while, Chef
Hoppa.
Savannah.
Film.
I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go in, but I'm too late, aren't I?
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
Hoppa. Oh.
Doesn't that cause
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate that a small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that means...
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are... Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's more. We believe that Firmin was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah...
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumaline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it just... I mean, is it because...
Na, hát most nem, de elájött az eszkófigya.
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed that all the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with
Ilyen
them.
logikus, hogy ez Monika
I would
áll
have
minden
figured it out
mögött.
the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're a genius. And
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my gâteau de bois? 3 years! 3 whole years!
Hoppa, az igen.
I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what? 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel? And declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt. Or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes. Learn from them and then keep chipping. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never...
That's our head chef.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bois.
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey. Look how happy everyone is.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
Hoppa. Elisa.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back.
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between 2 top chefs.
And so grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today. Right now, this instant.
Hey, so, this is when you were salty about losing?
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
Hoppá!
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
Aztán tudjuk meg, hogy milyen lett. Ez aranyos cutscene volt, tetszett.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Quite rightly too. Piece of cake.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Niue, and in her, I saw so many new possibilities.
Opa.
She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, blizzard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook. Case in point, remember those maritime flowers down in the ruins?
A goat chefről.
Did you taste the difference?
Real goat. Szóval azért már még marad sem mindig a real goat chef.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of, and the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research. Make sure it doesn't contain any. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Boer, revised version.
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de...
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of...
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all them. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Boer.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think the so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gateau de Boer?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Reese. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Poor Monica.
Hey!
Navia! Még a végén megjelenik.
Huh? Navia? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
Wait, isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
Ez az ending. Eltörték a izét. Szigem. Upsi. Zseni. Jó, ez egy jó befejezés volt. Én azt mondom. Megadtunk egy receptet. Na, van egy visünk. Jó van. 71, igen, azt hiszem 71 a piti, ugye? Jó van. Jaj! Jó, nem estem nagyot. Amúgy még van... Hát jó, most van egy Arkon quest, de ezt most nem állok már neki, ez túl hosszú ideig tartott ez a quest, hosszú ideig mint gondoltam. De nem bánom, mert amúgy jó volt, úgyhogy nem bánom, hogy ezt csináltuk, viszont akkor ez holnap este szerintem, hú, hát nem is tudom mikor, azt mondom, elég késő, hát ilyen késő, inkább ilyen 9 vele szerintem megcsináljuk, 9 után. Azt a Arkon questet. Tervek szerint, és akkor pénteken pedig elvileg jön az új event kezdete, és akkor azt megnézzük. De még viszont eszembe jutott valami, hogy itt van ez. Ez a hely. Ez a boss. El akarom nézni, hogy mit tud. Úgyhogy el tudok menni csak furnával, vagy van valami módja, hogy elmenjek. Gondolom az, hogy ez a sárkánnyal kéne amúgy elmenni, mindegy. A jó furinás módszer szerintem megteszi. Vagy gondolom azt nincs aktiválva, vagy nincs aktiválva a teleport, úgyhogy... Nem tudom, szerintem más nagyon nincs ezen a szigeten. De nem hinném, hogy lenne itt bármiféle puzzle. Nem tudom, mit tud ez a boss. Ugye jött az új weekly, hát ugye ezt majd holnap fogunk nézni az izé után. a Arkon Quest után valószínűleg ugye azzal fog elérhetővé válni nyilván. Kíváncsi leszek amúgy, nagyon kíváncsi vagyok az Arkon Questre, de 3 órát nyomtuk ma már. De ez úgy azért elég sok. Úgyhogy kell valamit hagyni holnapra is. Szerintem. Hát szerintem az azért legalább egy 2 óra még. És nekem most erre sem sincs annyi időm, hogy most mai napon még 2 órát kensinezzek. Sőt, szerintem alsó hangonként. Hát jó, nem tudom, hogy milyen hosszú amúgy, de én szerintem elég hosszú lesz. Nem tudom. Majd utána nézek. Most így nem tudok rá, nem tudok itt tippelni. Hogy pontosan mennyi lehet. És így nem tudom, mennyi információ van erről az interneton. Hogy pontosan mennyi. Na, ahogy tényleg a teleportot. Na, amúgy viszont visszatérve a questre, szerintem amúgy nagyon jó volt. Egyrészt, hát nyilván szerepel benne Navia, hogy rossznál nem lehet alapból. Elég nagy pozitívum. Volt szinkron amúgy mindenkire, ami tök jó. Naviára, mondjuk nagyon régi karakter más nem volt benne Navián kívül, ugye, sőt, nem is volt benne Navián kívül más playerből karakter régi. Valószínűleg lehetséges, hogy amúgy ezért sem tettek bele, mert hogy akkor nekik nem biztos, hogy tudtak a szinkront biztosítani. De amúgy sem biztos, hogy tettek. Nem is kellettek volna, nem is kell be nagyon más. Szerintem jó volt. Escoffier amúgy nem tudom, szerintem kedvelhető karakter, így a sztori alapján is. És ha nem Naviával lenne egy bannerem, akkor viselnék rá. Valószínűleg nem tudnám kibírni. De így viszont nem tudom kibírni, hogy ne Naviára viseljek, úgyhogy... ja. Meg kell adni a lehetőséget Navia konstellációkra. Aztán majd egyszer, amikor visszajön Escoffier, akkor hát megadod neki ügyesség szerintem. Nem tudom, mit tud ez a boss amúgy. De nem tűnik egy... ezzel a csapattal nem tűnik bonyolultnak amúgy. Hát jó, annyira nem szedem ki. Meg akartam nézni, mit tud. Gondolom én, megnézzük az interaktív térképet, de szerintem amúgy nagyon puzzle meg semmi nincs itt. De az még van esetleg, akkor megnézzük, akkor ránézzünk, hogy mizu van azzal. De mondom, nem hinném, ezekkel a területekre általában nem szoktak tenni. Szerintem, amik itt bónuszból jönnek. De aztán... ja, itt ezek nem jöttek. Ezek se... nem, nincs. Ahogy sejtettem, nincs semmi bónusz itt. Így térkép alapján. Jó van, oké. Ez egy nagy bázal alapján. Csak egy ilyen kis szigetecske van. Itt. Úgyhogy jó van. Nálam legyen akkor így más nincs, szerintem. És akkor ahogy... felmászunk ki, basszus, nézzük meg a kilátást. Bam, itt is vagyunk. Wow! Az igen, milyen fekete háttér. Mondjuk valami képet. És hát, hogy valami naplementével jobb lenne. Most ide állítjuk. Ezt pedig végén így beadunk egy képet, én azt mondom, már rég fotóztam a génsémet. Amúgy ez így elég menő, hogyha ezt így ad. Annyira nem látszik ez. Ó, ez így. Ez csak egy jó fotó, gyors. Lehetne ezt jobban megcsinálni, most annyira nem számít. Na, jó van. Akkor holnapi nap este érkezem. valószínűleg akkor megcsináljuk, sőt nem valószínűleg, biztosan megcsináljuk ezt a alkonquestet, mert egy napnál tovább nem nagyon fog tudni várni, és pénteken meg amúgy is van mit csinálni, és a pénteken Navia se jön, ha minden igaz, de nem tehetem félre, na. Úgyhogy muszáj vagyok ezt holnap megcsinálni, most már így nem tudom. Jó, oké. Jó van. Nagyon szépen köszönöm mindenkinek, hogy itt voltatok. Hogy van-e Genshin stream, bármi. Na, Lackó stream, jó, menjünk át Lackóhoz, én azt mondom. Mindenkinek akkor további szép napot kívánok. Akkor holnap után is valószínűleg találkozunk, meg lehet, hogy pénteken is, mert látjuk, hogy ez hogy alakul. Mindenkinek puszi, sziasztok!